Hello, 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 world. Is your girl, Shavannah Speaks More, aka Coach Shavannah. We have another amazing coach, guest, phenomenal person, phenomenal leader, Sue Bowles on the Warrior podcast or the Warrior Zone podcast today. I'm so elated to have this conversation, you guys. Just know that you all are in for a real treat. Sue is an amazing coach. She's definitely a very intricate part of the You Are Warrior family and the You Are Warrior collective. So we are super excited to dive into this conversation on today. So Sue, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away. Just tell the world a little bit about who you are and just give us a little background on what is your warrior story.
Sure. Well, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me. And I love being part of You Are a Warrior. A little bit of my warrior story. I'm a childhood rape survivor. I was raped by a classmate when I was 7 years old. And then I
Mm-hmm.
kept it a secret for 15 years into my senior year of college. And in between there was a lot of other stuff that happened. I've struggled with depression. I've dabbled in cutting. Twice I considered ending my own life. I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. But while that's what happened to me, it's not who I am. And that's a defining part of any warrior story is that the events do not have to define you anymore. And I've walked that healing journey. I know what it is like. I can relate to a large number of people. I know the healing journey, lack of a better word, just sucks. There's no other way around it. And I can also tell you that it is so worth it now. I founded My Step Ahead, and through that, empower people to share their stories while they're still healing. You see on the screen, our focus is you had to help the person behind you, because people tend to think that they have to have it all figured out before they have something to offer. And we're here to say that you have life experience, therefore it has meaning, therefore you have something to offer right now while you still figure it out. And I use that as my motivation, as what I do when I coach people, is to help them rewrite their narratives and support them while they do the work to rewrite that narrative so that they can live the life they don't think they deserve, because I've been there and I'm not there anymore.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I applaud you for the work that you do because I know that overcoming those type of challenges are not easy at all. And it's something that can definitely traumatize you for a short time, a long time, and sometimes for the rest of your life. So, and I really appreciate the saying that you all have. You only have to be a step ahead to help the person behind you. That is so powerful. And I really believe that is what we stand on at You Are a Warrior. So based on the challenges and the things that you've had to overcome, Sue, and the things that you had to go through to get to where you are today and to become the person you are today, how would you say that you armor up daily when it comes to like mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? What would you say are some of like the routines, the mindsets, and things that you do to actually keep you grounded because you had to overcome all those challenges and navigate through that world of challenges? What are things that you do to armor up daily?
Yeah, great question. I'm a Christ follower, so my relationship with Christ is the most central part of my life. So I start my morning just getting some Bible reading time, and some journaling. That is critical for me. I am not fit to be around people if I don't have that time. It's usually the only quiet I have in my day. So having that time is first and foremost. I think one of the other things is that just because I have survived and now I'm thriving doesn't mean I have it all figured out. So I have a counselor. I still have stuff to work through. Life still happens. Other life stuff, but life still happens. And she is very critical to me warrior up each day, helps keep my mind in the right place. I have a dietitian I work with as well, just to make sure I'm staying balanced in that regard. But I think if I have those pillars, those are important to start with. And then from there, I'm always on the lookout, or I try to be on the lookout for how can I help? How can I serve somebody else? I don't want life to be about other people. So I always want to try to be on the lookout. How can I pray for somebody? How can I encourage them? How can I help them in some way? Those are a couple of things that keep me going each day.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. And I feel like I can so relate to that because just being able to get grounded in your word and then journaling and just really being able to be intentional about your day, I think that's a wonderful
Mhm.
start For those of you that are watching today, a lot of times we have so many different routines where we just get up, we check Facebook, we check LinkedIn, we check Instagram, we check our emails, and we automatically start our day busy, busy, busy without being intentional about what the day is that we want to create. So I'm so glad that you said that. That was so powerful. One other thing that you said that was so powerful is, and I hope everybody caught that. You said, even though I have survived and I am thriving, it does not mean that I have it all figured out. And I appreciate that, because one of the things that we preach at You Are a Warrior is the fact that you are not alone, right? So even though you have challenges, even though you may be experiencing challenges right now, you've overcome those challenges, you might be thriving in life. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody is ever going to arrive at that point where
Right.
life is not going to be lifing, right? So I appreciate that you said that, and that you were just so
Right.
transparent about that, because even in the midst of you helping people, you're still letting them know, like, hey, I'm not perfect, right? Life still happens to me, but I know how to navigate through those
Right.
challenges now, right?
Hmm.
Awesome.
Right.
And what would you
Right. And,
say?
and and I appreciate you saying that. Oh, and I appreciate you saying that, because I I don't have it all figured out. Life does continue to happen, and I can't somebody what I don't have myself. So I have to make sure I'm taking care of myself, just the way you need to make sure you're taking care of yourself before we pour into anybody else.
Exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree. What would you say, Sue, is one belief that you had to just completely destroy and step on and get rid of to really step into your power and the person that you are today? Because I feel like there's so many beliefs that we limiting beliefs, as people like to call it, right, that we adhere to, that we grow with, that becomes our
Hmm.
identity because of the things that we grew up on, or whatever the case may be. What would you say is one belief that you really had to, like, completely get rid of, that no longer served you, to really step into your power and become the amazing coach and the amazing leader that you are today?
I had to trample the lie that I did not
Mm,
matter. My Step Ahead launched the Dare to Believe movement a few years ago, and it is all about how do you answer the question, do I believe that I matter? It's one thing for others to believe in you, but until you can answer that question in a solid, affirmative, bedrock way, then permanent life change cannot and will not happen. And that's just the hard fact of it all. So I had to shatter that belief. Everything in my life up to that point in time had told me I did. And it's not easy. And I had to really start dealing with my self talk. I had to really start dealing with the narrative that I was telling myself that was faulty. I had to get my own story straight so then I could help others.
mm. Wow, that was so powerful. Okay. What does it mean to you to be a warrior? Because I know we throw around this word warrior all the time. You are a warrior, you're strong, you're not alone. But everybody has their own definition, their own experience, their own identity when it comes to truly being a warrior. And we all know Bershawn's story and why she created this amazing movement. But what I love is that we collectively each have our own warrior stories. And as a collective, we are a warrior, right? What does it mean to you specifically to be a warrior in the world that we live in today, based on all the challenges and all of the things that we get to experience, that we, good and bad, right? But you still have to rise above and be that warrior that you are. What does that mean to you?
I think for me, being a warrior means fighting for me.
Mm,
And that can sound egotistical, but it's not. What that means is that I fight for boundaries. I fight to set my boundaries, to know what a boundary was, because for the longest time I didn't. And I let people manipulate me and walk all over me. So I fight to establish boundaries. I fight to communicate them. And then I fight to hold myself to them. Because a lot of it, when we're a warrior, it's something we're fighting within ourselves to make sure that we are solid so that when we are confronted in situations, bedrock belief within ourselves. So for me, being a warrior means that I'm fighting for me, that means I'm making care. It means that I'm taking care of myself. It means I'm managing my time, getting enough sleep, eating right, exercising, all those things that go under self care, so that then I can help others. Because if I'm not making myself the priority, how can I challenge my clients to make themselves a priority?
Hmm. What I love so much about what you just said is because oftentimes when we focus on our own self care and we put ourselves first and we really fight for ourselves, people say that we're selfish or, they have all of these names for it. But the truth of
Mm.
the matter is, if you don't take care of you first, hello, I'm talking to you out there that's watching right now. If you don't take care of you first, your self-care is should be a top priority because if you don't take care of that first, you can't show up as a good CEO, a good mom, a good leader, a good wife, a good sister, a good, whatever. You can't possibly show up for anyone else in that space
Mm-hmm.
if you have not taken care of yourself first. So I'm so glad that you said that because it's not selfish at all. It should be a priority for all of us, regardless of where we
Mm-hmm.
are in our lives. We should always fight for ourselves. If you don't fight for yourself and believe in yourself, then who else is going to do it? So I really appreciate that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that, on this journey that we're on, I feel like we all have some type of superhero, essentially, like whether that's a mentor, a coach, a family member, or someone that we have looked up to at some point in our lives that have inspired us and impacted our lives in a huge way to become the person that we are today. Who would you say that warrior person is for you that you have always admired or looked up to that you feel like has truly impacted your life today?
Wow, there are a few that come to mind, but I think the one that comes to mind right now is Kathy Sprinkle. I am
Mm,
a life coach because of the influence of Kathy Sprinkle. There's a retreat program I'm part of called Walking Stick Retreats that was fundamental and foundational to my healing journey. And Kathy is on the staff of that. And while she helped me in the earlier years with all the healing I needed to do, about 5 years ago now, she called me and asked if I had ever considered becoming a life coach. And at first I said no. I thought it was snake oil, had a bad attitude. Excuse me. Excuse me, life. And
bless you.
and I researched about 3 months, and I'm a life coach now because of Kathy. And we have conversation and we can understand each other and relate. But she saw something in me before I saw it in myself, and she was daring and courageous enough to say something. And that's the kind of superhero I want to be around, someone that expands my belief in me, who has no limits to anything and encourages me to live a life of no limits as well. So I'd say Kathy Sprinkle.
Wow, that's so amazing. I love that. Okay, awesome. All right, Sue. So that is, I know this was such a quick but enlightening and yet powerful conversation. So I truly hope that you all got something from Sue's story and just some type of nugget or tidbit that you can move forward with. And like I always say, even if you don't do everything that she said on this podcast today, if you just take that one step tomorrow, it can be journaling. Wake up tomorrow and just change your routine and start journaling in the morning. It could be reading or getting into your word. It could be anything that she has said today. Just take that one piece of information and apply that immediately in your life and watch how your life can change. And I want you all to know that as a warrior, you are not alone. In the You Are Warrior community, we stand together, we love on each other, and we really stand on community. And I want you to know no matter what you're facing today, just like Sue was able to overcome her challenges and go out and really help a multitude of people and let her voice be heard worldwide, you can do the same thing, right? So, Sue, tell the people how I know you mentioned a little bit about your company earlier, but let everyone know how they can connect with you, whether it's online, your website, anything that you have coming up in your company that you want to share. Let Go ahead and tell us about that now.
Yeah, best place to get a hold of me is at my website, suebowles.com. And I actually have a text club that I have on Wednesdays. Is free text clubs, just some encouragement. Everything starts with encouragement. So I'd love to get that to people's hands. And when they sign up for that, I have a free PDF I send them, the 5 tips to help silence their harsh inner critic, because that's where it all starts, is the things we tell ourselves. So reach out to me at SueBowles.com, and I'd love to get hear from you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Sue, for just being on the Warrior Zone podcast. We definitely admire you. We love you. And we love the work that you are doing in the community. Keep going, because you are a warrior. And I just hope that everyone got something from this podcast on today. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye.